Okay, so today we're going to run through how to create a product demo for Webflow. And basically what I want to do is walk you through the entire process that I would normally go through in order to achieve that. The reason being that I just think it's a really great way for you to learn how to create good product demos, because a lot of the complexity comes from actually deciding what you need to show off. And Webflow is a tool which hopefully you're familiar with, and that'll make it a little bit easier to basically, get an understanding of what the process is like, how you can go about doing it yourself using our tool or any other tool, and hopefully you find this helpful. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make sure everything is working as intended. All right, go back and we'll go into screen shares. Okay, so just switch over to my Mac. All right, so what we have here is just a note-taking app. I'm going to write some details in here around how we go about planning for this. So first off, what is Webflow? Webflow is it's a tool for marketers to create, well, it's a content management system really, and marketers use it to create websites for whatever product they want to sell. So we're going to go through Webflow and basically come up with a strategy for them on how they would demonstrate Webflow to prospective customers. This is our own Webflow account, and as you can see, we use it for our own website, which if I hop over to HowdyGo.com, you can get an understanding for what we do. So this is our website, and on our website we have a blog, we have customer showcases. It's a relatively complex SaaS website that I think will be a good starting point to basically create this product demo for Webflow. So if I go into the Webflow website, we just see how they sort of talk about their own product, and what they try to convey to prospective customers when they arrive on their website. I got logged directly into our builder there. Okay, so this is Webflow. Your site should do more than look good. Okay, so they focus on showing some aspects of the product and the editing experience. So clearly that's a key component for them, and they want to sort of convey that. Design and build, publish and edit, analyze and optimize, scale and collaborate. I think with the analyze and optimize, we might leave that out for the moment, just because I think that it's probably a little bit too detailed. So we'll focus on the design and build aspect, the publish and edit aspect. Maybe we'll refer to this throughout the demo. We don't personally use their analyze and optimize toolset. If you were creating a demo internally at Webflow, maybe you would spend a bit of time doing that and showing those things off. This, we don't really need to talk about this apart from, maybe referring to it in our annotations and explaining, Webflow takes a lot of this complexity out of the situation and allows you to scale your website. Launch pixel perfect sites. Okay, yep. Again, this is just referring to a lot of the designing elements, and you can see that they're using these things for to kind of show off how their product works. So that's quite cool. The GIFs that they've generated. You can generate those in HowdyGo as well, which is quite cool. Yeah, okay, cool. So, basically what I was expecting. They talk about editing and creating, designs. They also talk about dynamic content. So we will focus probably on a blog use case, because it kind of touches on a few different aspects of what they are most interested in, which is, essentially design, dynamic content, and I don't know, publishing, maybe there's something in there. We will use this as the basis of our sort of the structure for our product demo. What I would like to do is probably cut this down or find a few very specific features or things that I'd like to demonstrate in this product demo, because otherwise this could end up being quite long. So from a design perspective, I think we explain the structure of a site. We might show structure of a site, 2 components, 3 CMS entries, 4 dynamic content, and that will probably be enough. Otherwise, this product demo is going to go on for way too long. And I mean, to be honest, you could probably get away with just like this component here and then have separate demos for CMS entries and dynamic content. This is a pretty complex SaaS product demo because there's a lot of components. It's very broadly applicable to a lot of different users, which means that it's hard to really nail down who your audience is. But if your goal with Webflow, if you were in the marketing team with Webflow and your goal was to basically explain to users, this is the core essentials of Webflow. When I've spoken to other marketers who have been wanting to use Webflow, they've all referred to, not really understanding how you go about building it and how you would structure a Webflow website. Because every CMS is like, it's similar, but it's sort of different, it's a bit weird. So that's the kind of, that's the question that we want to try to answer for people using this demo. So I might write that down as well. What we're trying to answer is, how do you structure and build a Webflow website? So that's what our demo is going to try to answer for people. All right, so we've got a little bit of a rough idea. Let's just take a look at our website and try to ascertain how we're going to show these things off. So what's nice about this is that because I've already got a website set up, it should be a touch easier for me to convey this stuff to people rather than having to create a basic environment with some data already in it to capture. So if you were building a product demo for your own SaaS product, you would probably go about doing that by creating an environment which has some dummy data in it. It doesn't really matter what it is because you can edit those things after the fact in HowdyGo. But that's where you'd begin. Create like an environment that you can use to create to craft your demo. So what we have here, we have the website. We also have the structure down here, and we have pages. So I'm thinking that we probably start off by explaining that these are pages, or like the website is structured by pages, and then we explain the CMS collections element. And then, I'll write this down. So pages, explain what they are. 2, it's hard to decide between showing off the pages and then moving on to CMS collection pages and then showing the components. Maybe that is the way to do it though, because then you have more consistent structure in the flow of the demo. So it's sort of saying, you know, here's the essential sort of model that you work in, pages, and then, you know, these are CMS collection pages so that you can load dynamic content, and then you show components, and then you show dynamic content in those components. So yeah, I think that's probably a good structure. So we show pages first, then we show CMS collection pages, then we show components and all of the different components that you can have, and then you show dynamic content. And I guess the sort of like overarching thing here is like the initial setup for this demo, if we wanted to have a sort of rough storyline, is like see how easy it is to create a blog in Webflow. All right, so that's the kind of structure that we're going to use. So see how easy it is to create a blog in Webflow. Then I'll explain pages, explain CMS collection pages, components, dynamic content in components, CTA. Sign up now to start creating your own blog, something along those lines. All right, so the way that we are going to do that is using HowdyGo, which we're using the HowdyGo Chrome extension over here. So if I probably go back to the home page. Oh, I'm not logged in, of course, because I logged out earlier. Just set that up, get logged in. All right, logged in now. Cool. All right, so let's go about capturing this. All right, so we start off by resizing our screen to be more appropriate for embedding into a home page. And we'll start by opening up the Chrome extension. I resized it to the optimal screen size, which is what we always suggest. And then I just click Start Recording. All right, it sets up the recording session here. And each time I click, it's going to create one of these little, it's going to add a step to the eventual demo. And when we hit stop, it'll upload it and launch us into the editor. So let's do a few clicks. First, we're going to open pages. We'll click to show that this will be where we sort of bring up the pages view. I'm also going to just hide these. We can delete all these steps that I'm creating in the editor really easily. So we'll just start with that, click there. Then we'll go down here to the CMS collection pages. This will open up in here. Here we have, then we'll show as I mentioned, the components. Page navigator, page structure. This is where we want to actually show it all expanded. Maybe we'll click on that one and then open this, which shows there. All right, cool. And then this is a rich text field, so can show how these things are connected to the data. Go to CMS, and then maybe, you know, we show that this is how the sort of content gets built. Click save, and I think that that's probably enough. I'm just going to click stop, and all of that stuff will get uploaded. Really, it might take a little while because there's a few assets in there. All right, so we just wait a second. So what I'm going to do when we get into the editor is basically just give you an overview of what the editing process is like. So what we have here, as you can see, every single click has been saved, And down here, you can see all of the steps that were created. I'll just quickly rename this. So Webflow product demo, how to create a blog. All right, so the first thing to note is that we basically want to get rid of a whole bunch of steps here. So I can just use the delete key. Because these are all the ones where I was just like hiding the folder structure. All right, cool. So that's pretty much that. And then the next one down is the CMS page. And then we opened up the components view. So that's, I kind of want to get rid of that one as well, to be honest. So we wanted navigator, but I actually ended up navigating further on in the demo. So I can just delete these steps as well. All right, so I've deleted all of those steps. That's all good. Then we have, I clicked on the element, which then brought up this sort of text, rich text component navigator, which is cool. And then I opened up the settings page. These are all good. I could maybe get rid of this one as well. We'll just show you. You don't need to show every intermediary step. That's what I would recommend. You know, like if you are clicking to expand a sort of dialogue or clicking to expand an accordion view, I would usually basically just skip those because they don't really add that much value to your product demo and it just makes it feel longer. So we want to try to get this demo as short as we can. And actually this demo, I mean, despite being a relatively complex application, has, I've already got it down to like 8 steps. And some of these are going to be auto progress steps where we basically like don't make the person interact with the demo in order to actually see how the next step. So now what we can do is start sort of the process of adding zooms and adding text into this demo. So first off, I'm going to add in a zoom here. So we'll just zoom sort of to this side view. I'm going to change the annotation so that it uses a ripple box, and we'll just resize it. And I kind of want to point out all of the pages. So there we go. All right, welcome to Webflow. Let's actually take a tour with us and see how HowdyGo uses Webflow to create a dynamic CMS-based blog. Here we see the static pages of HowdyGo's website. These are typically used for landing pages and your homepage. All right. Now the next step, we will go into the CMS collection pages. So we'll add another zoom and we'll add another ripple box and we'll do the same thing again. We'll just select this part here, and in here we'll say CMS collection pages. These pages are dynamically built using a database of content that HowdyGo has written. Using a database of content, this is where you would typically create index pages for your blog. and also the article pages themselves. Let's take a look at the blog template. All right, cool. And then this one, I think we can leave it zoomed out. And maybe we refer to, yeah, I mean, that's probably fine as is. What we can do is basically say, this is a dynamic page. Oops. To create these pages, we use use components which are linked to content stored in our CMS, in the Webflow CMS. Let's see how this rich text field has been created. Okay. And what I'm going to do is duplicate this step and make this basically navigate over to here and automatically click on the next one. So if I go playback, auto progress, and we just check out a preview of this demo so far. So welcome to Webflow, take a tour with us and see how HowdyGo uses Webflow to create a dynamic CMS-based blog. Here we see the static pages of HowdyGo's website. These are typically used for landing pages and your homepage. You can see like all of this stuff is scrollable, which is quite cool. And like people can, it feels like you're in the actual application. CMS collection pages. These pages are dynamically built using a database of content. This is where you would typically create index pages for your blog and also the article pages themselves. Let's take a look at the blog template. All right, this is the dynamic page. To create these pages, we use components which are linked to the content stored in the Webflow CMS. Let's see how this rich text field has been created. Click, and then the autoplay goes, and you can see that it moves the blue dot over to the navigator, clicks on it, and we pause again here. So let's go and check out the text that we're going to input for this one. All right, so I think what we'll do, we'll add another zoom in, and we'll say, sorry, that's, yep, there we go. This the component tree. All right. Here we see the component tree, which shows all of the nested components, divs, text fields, embedded content, images, etc. on the page. The rich text field is highlighted purple because it is pulling data from the CMS. All right. I think we can use an auto progress on this step as well. And we can also add in a zoom just to make this transition from, just quickly check through this. Okay, autoplay there, zooms in, cool, the component tree. And you can see it just feels more natural when it stays at the same zoom level. So I kept it at the same zoom level, and then we're at this stage, and you can see that, you know, I deleted a bunch of those steps where it was like we clicked on this little icon here with the database symbol, because I just wanted to immediately jump to the content and the structure that is, or the data that is available. All right, so that's cool. Let's go, we can actually, all right. Okay. any of the data listed here can be used to connect any of the, what are these called? It's not really data. Any of the fields in the CMS can be connected to outputs in your website. Let's take a look at the content field that has been created in HowdyGo's database. And then we do an auto progress again. And I think also we need a zoom here because it will be a bit nicer and a bit easier to see in the eventual demo. Okay, so, and then we've got this CMS entry here. So what do we want to do here? What do we want to explain here? You can see like all of this stuff is scrollable, so it really gives people an understanding of how these CMS entries work. Let's use this as an example. So we'll just say we will say this is the content field used in the blog. Content field used in the blog. All of the fields you see here can be edited and adjusted and added to your CMS so that you can craft dynamic pages for your website with ease. Generally, I don't like to say with ease, actually. It's a bit of a trope from a content marketing perspective, so we'll just cut that out. Take a scroll to see how HowdyGo is using different field types to build their dynamic blog entries. Okay, cool. So then hopefully that'll get people to scroll through. And what else can we do here? All right, so this is a very simple, but very, it'll be quite sort of helpful, I think, to prospects who have not really seen how a Webflow website is actually structured, particularly people who are motivated to create a blog. What we can do is also incorporate some chapters into this demo. So for example, we can go, all right, so this chapter, I usually just say like, welcome to Webflow, because it creates this sort of introductory chapter indicator. And then what we can do is talk about each of the different stages of the demo. So I'll add a chapter here, dynamic pages. And then we'll talk about components. And then we'll talk about CMS data. And then the final thing that we want to do is incorporate a CTA step. So this is a CTA, it's built into every single demo on HowdyGo. And if you want, you can change the initial background. I'll probably set it to this one here. And we'll say, ready to build your own blog. Get started today with a free trial of Webflow. And then we can add in a button and this is our call to action button. So let's find out, this is the link. This is the link to sign up. And I always put in a UTM source equals HowdyGo demo YouTube. I'll share the link for this demo on the description of this video when I've finished. So sign up today. Hit save. All right, now this demo is finished. I mean, very, very simple demo, but provides a lot of detail actually about how Webflow websites are structured, and really gives you a quick and easy to understand overview of what Webflow is like once you sign up. Their current website, I'm not saying it's not bad by any means. They show a lot of detail with these videos that they've got on their website, which is really cool. The downside is that with these videos, you really do have to sort of like hang around and see your see what you want to see what you want to see. And if I go here, like they have a play button and they have a pause button. If you miss something on this video, you have to hit pause and then wait and then kind of read through it. Whereas, and it's got, you know, like automatically cycles through the videos even when you pause them. So if you were kind of wanting to get a bit more detail out of these videos, it would be quite hard to achieve because it's just constantly moving and constantly flowing through. And that's a little bit of a downside to using videos on your website. Whereas with an interactive product demo, you really do create like a really self-paced experience. And these can be shared, you know, using a simple shareable link, which is what I'm going to provide on this YouTube video. But also you can embed them into your homepage. So, you know, the Webflow marketing team could copy this code. You can see it just copied it to the clipboard, and then use it in Webflow to create, you know, an embedded interactive version of Webflow without making people sign up. You can also export these videos with different levels of quality and different cursors directly from HowdyGo, and essentially end up with these kind of videos that they're showing here. But with all of the benefits of using interactive demos, like the ability to just delete steps. You know, let's say I don't want to have people see old home in this list. I can literally just go hide UI and click, and it's gone. These are kind of the cool aspects about using interactive product demos, and particularly the way that we do it at HowdyGo is super simple to use, so that you can create product demos that are really awesome for your users and your prospects. So I'm just gonna, I'll hide all of these actually, just to keep it a little bit more simple, you know. These are some just internal things that we use, and we can just change the structure there. And then that's, you know, just a little bit more simple, a little bit easier to see. We can also adjust like the scroll position of these divs during the editing process and just kind of tidy everything up, make it look as good as it can. This blue color and the text color and the fonts, they can all be customized as you want in HowdyGo. So if I go to settings, appearance, you can see here we have a whole bunch of settings around every aspect of the annotations, every aspect of the buttons that you see in the demos. You can even change this to a dark frame in your demos, and these apply across all of your demos so that you can keep everything on brand. Same with the fonts. You can just select a different Google font, or if you've got a custom one for your company, you can reach out to us via the in-app chat here, and we'll give you a hand. We can basically use any font that you have on your website. So really easy to use. So yeah, that's basically the essentials of creating a product demo with HowdyGo. And hopefully this has been interesting to you and helpful to sort of see, you know, not just the process of recording these things, but also you know, the process of planning it out and figuring out what we actually want to demonstrate, and the way that you can use a story to help people understand what your product is capable of doing. Again, as I mentioned, I'll leave this share link in the description of this video so that you can have a play around with it, see what it's like, experience it for yourself. But otherwise, you know, thanks for watching this stream. Hopefully you found it helpful. And if you're interested in seeing more videos on creating product demos, subscribe to my channel, because I'll plan on building a lot of these or creating more of these how-to videos and sort of explaining different ways that you can use interactive demos beyond just embedding them onto your homepage. We have customers who are using us for help articles in their documentation, in live sales calls. So when they jump on a call, they literally use, and we do this as well, they use a HowdyGo demo collection to create, to basically show people how their product works. So we have a live sales demo collection here that I use during our live sales calls. So we have an overview demo, and then we also have these analytics demos. The analytics demos in particular, I love this one because it's such a nice way to show people through analytics, because we know that it's going to work every single time, and the data in it looks great, and we've edited out all of the customer names that we would normally have here, so it just says sample demo. And this took very, very little time to create, which is really, really awesome. So yeah, like, this is just such a powerful tool in a live sales environment. You can also grab this share link and literally just share it directly with a customer and have them dive straight into the product and understand, you know, how your product works. So there's loads of different ways to use interactive product demos in your go-to-market, but the core one that we see a lot of people using is this sort of embedded version on your website. Welcome to HowdyGo. With video bubbles and all that cool jazz. Check us out online, but otherwise have a great day.